Yo, what's up? My name is Rich. Welcome back to another video. In this video right here, I'm gonna let you know about two little things that's gonna help you sell t-shirts. All right, let's get straight to it. All right, so at this point, I'm really hoping that y'all understand this is more than just t-shirts itself. It's pretty much anything that you're pretty much decorating when it comes to what we're talking about. So, first and foremost, the most important thing to understand is your product offer. Not necessarily the blank t-shirt itself, you know, unless you're in that industry where you're selling blanks and whatnot, then you're really worried about the actual size. And well, I guess if you have a clothing brand, that does matter as well, you know, because some people like tight fitted shirts, some people like the loose fitted ones. However, I'm speaking a little bit further beyond that. I'm talking about decoration itself. You know, I see it all the time. A lot of people, maybe it might be you, because you might be one of the people who say advertising online sucks. Well, you know, if you slap your logo on a t-shirt and it doesn't really have too much meaning, it might have a little bit of a meaning to it, you know, that's not gonna be the right offer to begin with. It can be, but it's gonna be a long-term game for you. You gotta have the right product offer. That's first and foremost. That's the most important thing when it comes to this entire business. You have to have the right product offer. If you don't have the right design, your design doesn't cater towards a specific niche or audience, then it's not gonna do well whenever you start using advertising, especially online. So in order for this to work for you, especially if you're building a brand or you're just selling t-shirt designs in general, or if you're selling a mug with something on it, you have to have the right product offer. You know, this might go over a lot of y'all's heads because, you know, you have your brand logo and you're wondering why it's not actually selling and whatnot. It's cool, you might have a super dope name, and you know, some brands have that and it does work out for them. But as far as brands, it's a very long-term play, but it will have the highest and best results because you're collecting on so much data and you're just driving a lot to them. But when it comes to, you know, my business model itself, it's like selling on Amazon or Etsy and just selling generic t-shirt designs. You know, we sell so many different types of product designs, but we don't just come up with product designs just because we think it will work. We do some research first. Research is important. You really have to dive into, you know, Amazon. If you go on Amazon, do some research on Amazon sales rank. Whenever you do research on that, you will start to understand how Amazon sales rank actually works. And you know, the lower the number, the more the actual product actually sells, especially within that actual category. And now whenever you have something that's a little more consistent, especially if you're using something like Keepa, where it has an actual graph of sales, and you can see how consistent the actual sales for that actual listing is, for that actual t-shirt design or mug design or whatever design it is, you will begin to understand that there is demand for this product design. And now from doing that actual research, you will know that this is a product that you can offer. So now you have the right product offer and you can actually drive some traffic to it. So if you don't have the right product offer, this whole thing might not even work. Now, although you may not have the right product offer, you might have a super dope design. So big shout out to our sponsor, Skillshare. Check it out. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for anyone who loves learning and wants to explore their creativity and learn new skills. So this is a great way to invest in yourself and your personal growth. There's hundreds of thousands of classes on here, and it's important to prioritize your time. So right here, Skillshare makes it very easy to take lessons in portions, and that's really what I like about Skillshare, because it's a great value to add to your life. And I know a lot of you all who watch primarily interested in apparel, design, selling t-shirts. You can learn all those things, but one cool class that's on here is learning actually how to use Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator. Some of you all may know the basics, some of you all may need to learn the basics, and this is a great way to start because there's hundreds, if not thousands of classes on here actually. And there's classes on designing on Illustrator, Photoshop, t-shirt designs, patterns. There's just so much to it, and this is going to help elevate your designs to the next level. The first 1,000 people to use the link in my description box or my code will get 1 month free trial of Skillshare. You know, sometimes we see some really cool art, and you know, sometimes we just want it because we think it looks cool, even though it doesn't really have a specific audience to it. You know, for like if we're selling Mother's Day shirts, obviously that has something to do with that specific audience. But if we just see some kind of dope t-shirt design that's very abstract, we might just want it because it looks good. Certain variables can make a weaker variable not matter as much. So a strong design can make up for that product offer towards that specific audience. However, if you have an actual product offer and the design sucks, then that might not work either. But now if you have the actual correct product offer for the right audience and an awesome design, and you put that together, that's gonna help you sell a lot more. So you have to consider that when it comes to decorating a mug, t-shirt, whatever it may be in this industry. Have the right product offer and have a good design. I know a lot of y'all come in this game and have very limited amount of design when it comes to all of this. So this is something that we have to practice to get better. For me, industry standard program is going to work best. Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator. Those two are going to work great. You know, of course there are all kinds of different alternatives. At the end of the day, it's not what you use, it's how you use it. And that's, of course, is going to, you know, it's going to get you there. It's going to get you what you need. But I highly recommend, you know, learning Photoshop and Illustrator every single day. You know, especially if you're just starting off. Practicing it, it's just gonna make you a lot better in the long run. And this will be a skill that's gonna set you apart from other sellers. So make sure you learn to sell the right things by doing some research, and make sure you start becoming an actual better designer. So that's the first thing, having the right product offer, right design, right? And I've mentioned in several videos, most of this game, of course, is physical, and then the other half is mental. So right now I'm gonna get into the mental side of it. You know, we got the somewhat physical portion. You know, you got to have the right product offer. Now you're going to put that to work. That's the physical portion. The mental portion is remembering why you are actually doing this. And remember that it's okay to struggle, because we always see other people who are successful at selling t-shirts, and it seems like, you know, they're way ahead of us. But at the same time, especially for me, I always beat myself up over this. And you have to remind yourself why you're actually doing this. What's going to push you to the next level? And for myself, I struggle with this all the time. I forget why I'm going to work every single day. I forget why I'm designing t-shirts. I forget why I'm selling t-shirts. I forget why I'm doing all of this. One thing I will say, I even forgot like why I was even doing YouTube for a hot second. You know, I've been so tied up in work and business, I forgot why I even started YouTube. And one thing I do struggle with when it comes to all of this is feeling like I am enough for this. And it's the same thing when it comes to actual business. At this time, when it comes to business, like I've done it for I think we're in our 8th year now, 2014, 6, 7, 8? Yeah, 8 years now. So, you know, for business, I questioned myself a lot when I first started off. YouTube, I started in 2019-ish. So, you know, I'm still in that rough state where it's like I forget why I'm actually doing this. And I have to remind myself, I started the channel because, you know, I didn't want other people to struggle as well. You know, even though struggling is a part of the process, I just wanted the ability to be able to remind you guys that struggling is a part of the process. But if I could do anything in my power to help y'all struggle a little less, then I'm doing my good deed for being on YouTube. So that's something I even struggle with, is remembering why I started something. So now that I remember that, now I can start pushing through more and more videos again. Because for me, I've struggled a lot when I first started my business. And, you know, I questioned myself the entire process. I questioned, you know, is it going to be okay? And sometimes, you know, even though we were doing okay, I would look further beyond. I'll see people who are killing it, and I'm over here like, yo, when am I gonna get there? And it wasn't until years in, I look back and I'm like, man, I've been on this gradual climb this entire time. There was no point where I'm like, I skipped process 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm all the way at 10 already. It was always, I'm going 1.2, 1.5. All of a sudden I'm at 2, I'm at 2.2. I don't even know if that makes sense, but the process was so slow. And I struggled with how slow it was. And, you know, I learned a lot of things along the way, and now I feel very comfortable with business. But now when it comes to YouTube, I forget why I was doing it. But now I remember it's because I don't want people to struggle at least as much as I did when I first started. And I want y'all to understand struggling is a part of the process. So if I'm doing my good deed and remembering this, I want you guys to be able to remember that as well when it comes to your actual business. Struggling is a part of the process. So just keep putting in the work and you're going to get there. Just remember, it doesn't matter how far back you feel like you are, you're still way further than you was whenever you first started. Even if you just started yesterday. All right, so I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Comment, like, subscribe. I'm gonna see y'all soon because I do got more content coming. All right, been a little slow, but we're coming back because you gotta remember why you started things. Peace.